Hey guys, second inbox review of the day, and it is of course Amusing Hobbies Panzer Kampfwagen 6 Tiger P, or Porsche Tiger as it was known. This was one of two proposals for a new Panzer tank to counteract the KV-1s in Russia and the T-34s, etc. Hitler put forward the proposal of designing a tank with an 88mm gun on it, and what came up was one of two proposals, two options to go for a contract. First was this one, designed by Ferdinand Porsche. He'd never designed military vehicles before, but he slung his hat in the ring and said, look, let me have a try. And then obviously the other one was the Henschel option, which obviously was the one that actually went into production. As far as I know, only one prototype was ever produced and only one ever actually saw action. Any of the remaining hulls were actually developed into what we will become the Ferdinand tank destroyer and later modified to an Elephant tank destroyer. So hence the bottom here is quite familiar if anybody has seen those vehicles. I've actually stood in front of a I think it was an Elephant at the Tank Museum around about 6 years ago when I went to Tank Fest. I think it was it 3 or 4 years ago, I can't remember now. So yeah, that's where its inheritance came from, was this very Tiger tank. So the reason it didn't get into production was because on the day it was actually presented to Adolf Hitler along with the Henschel design, both were put through on trials, and unfortunately this one broke down because of the gearbox failures, etc. And it didn't perform that well, so that's why Hitler opted for the more familiar Henschel design that we know and love today, the Tiger 1. So I'm glad that Amusing Hobby have brought one out, because the previous boxing was brought out by Italeri some years ago and one by Dragon as well, which I have to say was a lovely kit, because I had one in my stash at one time, but unfortunately I sold it on. And it was quite highly detailed. This one's not bad actually, because you also get a figure of Ferdinand Porsche with it, a little resin figure. So I've got the idea, as and when I do get around to building this, I'm going to do a scene with this and the prototype Henschel design, which I know Hobbylos have brought out, VK3001. So I will have it in a sort of diorama whereby he's being presented with the two of them parked there, maybe a few dignitaries, and obviously I've got a car that he has arrived in as well. So I will possibly do that. It's an idea I got in my head for some time in the future when I get back on the bench. So there you go. Anyway, without further ado, what we'll do is get on with reviewing this. As you can see, there's a lovely box art illustration at the Krupp factory of Ferdinand Porsche in front of his Porsche Tiger proposal, and yeah, nice one there. So that will give me the sort of basis as an idea for a diorama. And if anybody wants to get hold of this kit, the kit number is 35A023. That's 35A023. And as I said, it comes with a resin figure of Ferdinand Porsche himself. And I think you've got some actual archive photos on the back, on the side here, of the actual vehicle, as you can see there, at the Krupp factory. Okay. That one there as well, and obviously a picture of the resin figure, oh sorry about noisy motorbike, of Ferdinand Porsche himself. And then on the side you've got the box art illustration again, and then a side view of the actual vehicle, which does, I believe, oh hang on, this damn thing's come out of focus again, let me get into focus, there we go. And I do believe this has actually got workable track links as well, which and then you've got multicolored parts in it as well. So it's also designed obviously with the workable track links with the suspension So there you go. Anyway, let's get on with it. It's quite a nice sized box. And take the lid off. Instruction sheet, which we'll put down there, and you've got 2 bags of sprues, and you've got about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sprues. So that keep you busy, as well as the actual hull as well. And also it comes with this is obviously the little resin figure of Ferdinand Porsche. And you got the tow cable, decals bagged, and also a little bit of extra brass for the grills. And as usual, I've come out without my scissors, so I'm going to have to go and get next door and get them again. So if you'll bear with me. Prepared as usual, not for a video. Anyway, scissors in hand, now we can get on with the actual review. First off, we'll go through the instruction sheet. Again, you got the box art in review there, and a little few notices there, just saying a warning: do not eat, do not chew, do not whatever with it, etc. And then obviously you got the related signs on there for the construction. There's a photo inside, a reference photo of them working on the actual hull of the vehicle, as you can see there inside the Krupp factory. Then you got a map of sprues, so you can check you've got all your parts for the kit, and obviously your decal sheet and accessories. And then obviously we're going to the first phase of the construction, which is obviously the running gear, all the wheels and the sprocket and the idler wheel. Okay, and then obviously you've got the assembly of all the suspension systems, which you can see there. Okay, and then obviously that will filter in with the final drive on the sprocket. And then you obviously fit in to the hull, the rear. I've forgotten what they call it now. God, my brain's gone. Rear end of the vehicle. And then you've got the front part on there as well. This is showing you that you don't have to glue that, and it just simply clips in by all accounts. So there you go. Back plate, sorry, I was just thinking back plate. And then obviously it's telling you how to position the wheels. Obviously I won't put them on until the final stage, and obviously putting on the sprocket and the idler wheel on there as well. And then interestingly here you've got link to link tracks which actually clip in, and there's a little what do they call it, I tell you what, my bloody brain's just gone this afternoon. Little jig to basically put the tracks together and assemble them. And this is showing you the direction of actually how you should put them in. And obviously you got the assembly of the upper hull, as you can see here, with the engine deck, etc. And the side plates. Okay. And obviously more of the engine grills go onto the main plate, as you can see there, or air grills. Grab handles go on next, and aerial cape and aerial mount. And then obviously what you then do is add a few add the oh god, what was it, barrel rods on. Okay, and then it's fitted to the main hull, the lower hull. And then obviously you've got the fitment of the driver's hatch, as you can see there, or the vision port, and also the machine gun port as well, which goes to the front of the vehicle. And then obviously you put on more bits on the side plates there, or the walkways. And then the etched brass grille plates go over the engine hatches, as it were, and grills. And then the fitting of the jack, etc., and the assembly of the jack, and various other tools, and then obviously the fitment of the assembly of the headlamps and the fitment of them onto the vehicle. And then the spare tracks go on the front there, as you can see, and more tools go onto the side of the vehicle. And then obviously you got the measurement of how much you need for the tow cable, and then put the actual links on together, and that's it, job done. Okay. Next up, if I can find it, is obviously the assembly of the actual main turret. As you can see there, it all comes as one piece. The mantlet goes on, then you've got the commander's cupola and the hatch and optics which go in, etc. And then that fits onto the top of the turret, and obviously you've got the rear mount for the turret bin, as you can see there. So you can have it open or closed, and then more spare tracks go on the back of the turret. And then it's the assembly of the actual main barrel and etc. Okay, and that's it. That's your tank done. And then obviously you've got one cool colour call out, which is the main plain sort of dark panzer grey for the prototype. And you have a colour option for the only vehicle that was actually used out in the field, which you can see here, which is a nice camo scheme, if I must say myself. So I'm quite tempted to have a go at that. Or maybe later on, if Dragon do reissue it, if I can get hold of one, I'll get the old Dragon kit with the actual well-designed Zimmerit. So there you go. So that's it, basically. And obviously all your paint colours are for MIG colours. But then again, you go into the colour app, though, you'll be able to sort out whichever sort of paint you need for whichever brand of paint you're using. So there you go. So that's that, really. Right. Have I forgotten anything else? No, I don't know what these are for. Interesting. A load of safety pins in here. I don't know what they are for. Doesn't explain that. Oh well. Anyway, first off, we have a look at the components of the kit. You've got the lower hull, which is nice and clear, and obviously got this, well, I wouldn't say it was hard plastic, but cream sort of sandy plastic, as it was with the Centurion. But nice well detail for the escape hatches there, as you can see, and nice and crisp and clear. And obviously the interior's mod, so maybe they're going to bring out one with interior detail set, who knows. So that goes back in the box, and then the first sprue that we come along is going to be the running gear. I'm just going to unseal that and we'll have a look at it. I'm only going to bring out one sprue because it's two matching sprues as it is at the moment, so just bear with me 2 seconds, guys, and then I'll show you. Right, so we're going to bring out one sprue of these. Should I bring that out? Oh, actually, no, you only need to bring the one out. There we go. Again, nice detail on the sprocket here, as you can see. Actually, if I get it round that way. Lovely detail on the sprocket. Let's move the light over so you can see it a bit better. There we go. No flash whatsoever, so that's nicely done. And then obviously on the actual main running gear, you've got nice detail there as well, which I have to say I'm quite impressed with. And some of the suspension units, which you can see here, and the assembly for the jack. And there's your suspension units, as you can see here. Nice detail on that. Beautiful. And that's the back plate or part of the actual vehicle's hull. I'm not quite sure. And then again, you've obviously got the hatches there, ammunition box, tools, etc. and the ends of the actual tow cable, which is nicely done. So yeah, very nice indeed. That's that one. Sorry about the crinkling of the packaging. I don't want to lose any of these parts. There we go now, but not so easy to get back in. Oh, that's it, I've done it. Right, that's that done. I'll leave the lower hole out. There we go. Right, next bit is the actual upper hole. We'll have a look at that. There we go, guys. Again, nice crisp detail on the main upper hole. The engine grille is right there, as you can see. Beautifully detailed, no flash whatsoever. And there's a nice surface texture on this as well. Then you've got the sides of the hole here, as you can see, and then obviously the mud guards. I think it's the mud guards, I'm not sure. But again, nice detail with the actual sides here with the surface texture. This is partly around outer part, the frame of the engine grille. Again, nice detail. That will come up nice with a wash and a bit of weathering. And obviously this is part of the back plate. And then the frontal, oh, you've got two options for two here by the looks of it. No, maybe one fits on top of the other. I think that's the case, yeah. That's obviously the front driver's portal there. You've got the option of two by the looks of it. Maybe there was one for the one that was actually used in action, I don't know, because obviously as it from a prototype to a main production model, things were modified. That's where you put your machine gun, etc. Frontal glacis, as you can see there, nicely done. Barrel rods there. That must be the starter handles, I would imagine. Actually, damn thing's not going into focus. Here we go. It looks like actual driving handles, I don't know. So maybe they are thinking of doing one with an interior. Who knows? We shall see. So, yep, that's nicely done. So I'll pop that back in its bag. Hang on a minute, where's the bag? Oh, there we go. Pop that back in its bag so I don't lose any of the parts. There we go. Next up, I'm not going to take this one out of the bag because I know, oh hang on, actually yes I shall. Sorry, changing my mind, I shall. Now where have I put the scissors? Oh, there they are. And you have another sprue with basically all the jack here. I forgot what they call those. You got a nice set of barrel rods there. You got the fire extinguisher there. Again, more tools, as it were. The ends of the actual tow cable. So yeah, it looks good. And obviously this is the ammunition pack. And I don't know if you can see, but there's some nice wood grain on that as well. So very nicely done. So there you go. Very nice. Right, put that one back in its bag. And I've got the final bag, which I will show you. I've got some links, tracks and juice. So, hold on a minute. yes, that's basically it. Right, let me have a look at these. I'll show you them. Yep, nice and clean actually, so I don't think you're going to need a lot of clean up, if any, done on them at all. There you go. That's your track links. As I say, they're nice and crisp and clean and clear, so I don't think there's going to need any clear up work. It's just a case of threading everything through and clicking it together. So I think it's a nice, simple, easy way of putting these tracks together. And obviously there is your jig right there. So yeah, nice. Very nice indeed. There you go. Very nice. And you've actually got a jig for each sprue on these for your track lengths, so you've got more than plenty. And then the final sprue is the turret itself. Oops, hang on. And like some of Dragon's old kits, you got the one-piece turret, which is a nice touch. Because having to do it with two, you get that horrible seam down the back, and that's a pain in the arse to get rid of. So I'm glad that they've moulded this in one piece. I really am. And obviously you've still got the actual bits underneath as well for the actual ring for it to turn. So that's a nice touch. So yeah. And then obviously you got part of the commander's cupola, which you can see here. Nice done. And the turret, as you can see here, there isn't any surface texture, mind you. I don't think there was on the real thing. Obviously got the turret bin there, which is nice. Parts of the mantlet. In fact, the thing I do like is if I can get it into the light, you've got some nice weld texture there, as you can see. So that's nice. I like that. I like that a lot. And obviously there's your hatch and the end of the barrel, which you got there, your grab handles, and the main one-piece barrel, which is nice. So you don't go worried about putting two barrel halves together like the old Tamiya kits. So yeah, I'm impressed on that, I tell you. Very nice. I think this is going to be a nice kit to build actually. So much more detailed than the old Italeri kit. And I know Adam Mann was at one time planning on turning the Italeri kit into the prototype and modifying it. Well, I think Adam, you won't need to with this kit, I tell you. Far better. Unless you've already got it in your stash. Yeah, so that's the main parts of it. Now, the only thing I've got missing, I've just noticed, and I haven't come across it, is the actual pieces to the clear pieces for the optics. So, I think I'm going to have to get on to Amusing Hobby or their agents about that, which is a shame. So yeah, and then obviously you got the resin figure of old Ferdinand Porsche himself, which is very nicely done. Although there's a bit of flash here, so you can probably just have to clean the bottom of his jacket up. But that's a nice little figure, that. Very nice indeed. So there you go. And then obviously you've got your tow cable here, which is an actual wire, which I prefer, as opposed to string in some kits. So that's nice. And obviously the etched brass grills, which are a nice touch as well. And finally, your decal sheet. Now, I'm not going to take that out. I don't know what Amusing Hobby's decals are. Now, as far as I know, the prototype on this didn't have any numbers or anything like that. But if you want to do it as the only version that was used out in Russia, then obviously you would use this, and I would look out some photo referencing on that, or you could do it as a fictitious tank. So there you go. So you got quite a versatile option there with this tank. But as to say, I was quite impressed with this. A lot better than the old Italeri boxing that we had. A shame that the optics are missing in it for the vision ports. But as I say, I'll probably get onto the agent and find out where, how I get hold of those. So that's the only thing that was missing in this kit, really, which is a shame. But all told, if you can get hold of one of these, because they're going quick. Oh, hang on. Let's get that into focus again. As I say, if you want to get hold of one of these kits, I would suggest you get hold of them quick. But a very, very essential part of any Tiger collection, to be honest with you. I think so anyway, because I mean, it is part of the history of the Tiger. So there you go. Anyway, that's the end of this inbox review. It's been going on for nearly 25 minutes, in fact just over 25 minutes. I'll finish here for the second inbox review of the day. I might possibly put up 2 more tomorrow. So until then, stay safe, keep well, wash your hands, wear a mask, 2 metre distancing, and let's all stay safe. Alright, anyway, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I will speak to you soon. Cheers.